go, no, I just thought it was a little forced and upsetting for some of the girls. I mean, seriously, it's just, oh hey, ha, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo, with this week's review of Untucked, Season 10, Episode 11. So let's get to it. This was a very disappointing week for RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, as you all know, I don't watch Untucked before I do my review. I like to have them completely separate and different, and here is why. In the course of watching Untucked after the review and getting to today, I was really impressed by the chitter on the Twitter, which was basically a lot of people didn't like this episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, and I understand why. First of all, you know what? There was no puppets. And everyone loves puppets, I'm just saying. Second of all, this whole good twin, evil twin challenge would have been fine on its own. But Ru wanted some introspection, she wanted it to be deep. It sounds to me like some people think that the girls were told to bring prehistoric costumes for something, but then were never asked to use it, which is why Camaron had the Hairy Maleficent, which was my drag queen name in high school, and Cracker had that Pebbles on Acid crown, but then don't forget, plus Monet had that bone in her wig, but then I think that Monet has a lot of bones in a lot of things. Shut your face. That said, there were a lot of sour faces this week. Okay, well, just two. Clearly, the room was divided. There were the girls that no one hated too much, and there was the girls that people weren't impressed with. And those two girls were, of course, Camaron and Cracker. And Camaron has been on a downward slide. I think she got too comfortable in the middle for most of Drag Race Season 10. And then the last half of the series, as we've all seen, she's been noticed by the judges, but not in the best of ways. She's always ended up lip-syncing. For the last 3 weeks, she has been in the bottom. Normally, that's very telling. Normally, that tells the girls who's going home. But Camaron's been killing the lip syncs, and I don't know how much she's been killing lip syncs as opposed to being up against girls who are possibly either dropping the ball or they've had enough. It's been a lot of work for a lot of girls, and their nerves are raw. Nobody is a better example of this than poor Cracker. God bless her. Cracker not only was upset that she was in the bottom, especially after last week's win, but she had a bone in her hair, other than the ones she put there, over Asia saying that she didn't think she was a star. Now, I've said this before about Asia, and I am going to say it again. So if you're a big, huge fan of Asia and you hate anyone saying anything bad, click, turn me off. I want you to know, I like Asia. I think she's a solid queen. Am I impressed with her drag? No. I expected more because she does more. Her whole background is in costume making, and I have to say, some of the costumes she's worn on stage weren't great. This week's was fine. I liked her evil twin. I thought it was good. I loved the wig on her good twin. Although, a redhead never really, to me, says good twin. It always, a redhead will poison the well if you've ever read Anne of Green Gables. I'm just saying. That said, I liked Asia's looks this week. I thought she did a good job, but I find Asia in general, just that bubble off of Mean Girl. I feel like if she wasn't safe this week, at least walking off the runway with a feeling of a good critique, I feel like she would have been a different person in the workroom this week. She was very supportive. She wanted to talk to Camaron. Why did you? Don't you dare go out there and not sell it. Don't you dare go out there and not give it all. You know, she was very, very supportive to Camaron. But I feel somehow like she's very aware the cameras are rolling. And she's very aware of the fan base that's out here in reality, I'm just saying. So I felt that a lot of what she was doing was lip service, you know, just trying to boost people's morale for the sake of looking good on camera. And again, I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think a lot of people like Aquaria don't bother doing that at all. Not because they don't want to say something nice, they just don't care. Another person who I thought was very supportive this week, Aquaria. Now, I'm not saying that Aquaria isn't a supportive queen, but sweet beats. After her little meltdown, after Camaron and Eureka stayed. She's been a little more aware of herself, if you ask me. The thing that I think Aquaria has going for her is her drag is spectacular. Here's another very young queen. People weren't expecting much from her. And here she comes in with a 3D printed jaw situation with circle earrings with her name in them. I mean, good grief. We all need an architect with a 3D printer as a friend, if you ask me. I'm just saying. But her drag is flawless. This is the thing with Aquaria. This is why she's never been in the bottom. Her drag is flawless. You can't clock her on her drag. Is she always going to be a beautiful queen on the runway? I think so. The one time she wasn't was with the old dragon, and I don't think that it was about her doing a bad job. It just wasn't as good as some of the other people. Where she went with it was very confusing, I think, because was she naked? Was she wearing a nude outfit? It was very odd for the judges, and I think that was the moment for her where she felt, oh, I could have been in the bottom. Oh, I could have lip synced. And she's been on her best behavior ever since. And then there's Eureka, who's just thrilled to be there. I mean, whether you're a fan of Eureka or not, and I'm a fan. I'm not a stan, but I'm a fan. Like, would I be happy to meet Eureka somewhere? Yes. Would I go out of my way to go? I don't think so. I'm very, very busy and famous, such a thing. But I thought Eureka was lovely in the workroom too, but they all were in the positive light. The girls who had sour mugs were also up for elimination. And poor Cracker, not only was she dealing with her own little demons, which apparently there's quite a few of, but she also had that whole problem with Asia saying she wasn't a star, that she didn't see a star in Cracker. Now, here's what I think Asia did. I don't think Asia believes that for a second. I think she totally believes that Cracker's a star and felt that if she didn't say something to throw her off her game, that she might not get sent home and would stay in the game. And let's face it, Cracker's drag is also flawless. All the girls this season had great drag. This was a hard season to compete against because there were no easy targets. Sure, the girls that went home I'm still upset about Vanjie. I'm so glad that they added Vanjie to the commercial breaks of Untucked because we love Vanjie. But clearly she was somebody we were disappointed to see go home first. Now, with the top 5, I have to say that if it was going to be a top 3, I think the 3 girls, Asia, Eureka, Aquaria, are the top 3. Camaron and Cracker, no offense, because I love them both. I think Camaron is a beautiful queen, and I'm so glad that Eureka pointed out to her in the middle of her funk of, no, I'm clearly not a good actor, I'm clearly not a comedian, I'm just pretty. I like that Eureka said, well, pretty can get you pretty far. And let's face it, there are a lot of queens out there who are not. What do you look at me for? Seriously. The one thing that struck me in a sad way for Camaron and Cracker is that they're so defeated. They feel defeated. Camaron is thinking that they don't think she's talented. Well, they do think she's talented. She wouldn't have been one of the 15 girls this year to make it into the workroom. Same with Cracker. Clearly, these girls deserve to be there. And the thing is, with Cracker saying, oh, I didn't get to see my dream come true. It's like, you did see your dream come true. You're on RuPaul's Drag Race. If you wanted to win RuPaul's Drag Race, should have been more specific with your dream, is all I'm saying. Seriously. But these girls are forgetting that out of the hundreds, let's say thousands of girls that submit every year for Drag Race, and that have done for the last 10 years, these girls made it. They're one of 15. Even Vanjie and Calorie going home early. They are better than hundreds of other girls in the eyes of RuPaul. They made it to the show. They will always live in the world of RuPaul's Drag Race. They're part of the family. And it breaks my heart for them to be so disappointed in where they're landing in the process that they're forgetting that. God bless them all. I mean, seriously, there is not one girl who was on the show this year that I thought, we made a mistake there. They were all fabulous. And I just hope that in watching this show and seeing the reaction from the audience, because you guys are lovely. You're all lovely. Even when you say something hateful, at least on my page. I'm just saying. Maybe it's just my fans. I don't know. But even when you say something hateful, you're still very supportive. And I know that there are some hateful people out there that say hateful things. But you know what? You just don't listen to those people. You just don't read those tweets. You just delete, mute. One of the things that I thought was also sad was Lena Dunham coming back into the workroom, which was lovely. But Camaron didn't even smile at her as she walked by. And when she left the room, you could see she kind of walked in her eye line near the camera, but didn't get too close because clearly someone was upset. And that broke my heart too, because there's an opportunity. I'm sure Camaron's sitting there right now going, oh, I wish I'd said hi to her. Or maybe he doesn't know who she is or isn't a fan. I mean, quite frankly, I know who Lena Dunham is because she's constantly in the news, but if she kicked me in the hoolies and ran out of the room, I don't know if I know it was her. I don't just say. I'd be like, ah, that was Lena Dunham. Oh, is it? I wouldn't know. But I thought it was lovely that she got a chance to come back. And I can imagine there are a lot of people that have judged on RuPaul's Drag Race that want to go back to that Untucked lounge. And Lena certainly made the cut, and she was back there. Who didn't love hearing that she was divine in grade 4? Sweet beats, that would have made her 9. 9. And I think that that's a great costume for a 9-year-old at Halloween because nobody would really know what it was. I mean, Divine would look evil to any other person in the world, especially drawn onto a 9-year-old's face. But I bet you teachers at her school were all, what's going on? Why is Divine Baby here? Divine Baby! I certainly think that Lena had a great help in starting in life by having a mother that was sick of Disney and said, let's watch Joan Waters. God bless. My mother made me watch The Exorcist. Different experience. But whether the girls were up, whether the girls were down, one of the things I found odd about this Untucked was I felt it flew by. There's only 5 girls. There's only so much they can talk about. Sure, there was some forced conversation. I felt that Cracker and Camaron being out on the loading dock, nothing really was said. They're just the same things. And, you know, the one thing that never works when you're down is talking to someone else who's down. They're not going to help you. They're too interested in their own sorrow to help you feel better about yourself. But whether they were up or down, the girls had to go back to the main stage. And as we all know, poor, crunchy, salty, white Cracker sashayed. And again, it broke my heart to hear her feel that she her dream was broken, that she wasn't able to realize her dream, and that she felt that she'd let her drag family down. And clearly, she's let nobody down. She's done such a great job. I thought it was great to hear that she had an opportunity to talk to Asia. I wish she'd done it on camera because that would have been more interesting, is all I'm saying. But I'm glad that she had a little moment with Asia, at least to say, and I have to say, I'm glad that she didn't buy her note. This is, again, something that I just feel with Asia. It's probably because she's a pageant queen. She has a great litmus for response. She knows how to give a good answer. She knows how to say the right thing at the right time, whether it's good or bad. And that note was one of those things. I'm sorry I didn't see your star power till now. She sees it. That's why she was saying it. I'm just saying. And poor Cracker. Well, the Cracker crumbled and off she went. And now we're down to the top 4. Now next week, it's going to be a whole choreographed, lip-synced, they probably have to write their own lyrics because they usually do, extravaganza that's going to separate the queens from the criers. And I'm just going to say, I am excited to watch all these girls because they're all good, or they wouldn't be top 4. Who do you think's going to win it all? Well, all you got to do is stay tuned to RuPaul's Drag Race for the last 2 episodes. And when you're done, you come back and see me so you and I can compare notes. Don't forget, like the video, don't forget to share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I want to thank everyone who's subscribed so far. I'm over 1,800 subscriptions. I didn't know I knew that many people, but I'm glad I do now. Seriously. So until next week, miss me! Mwah. Seriously, Jorge, I don't know who, it's going to be hard to tell, I'll tell you. If they do that lip sync like they did last year, anybody, seriously. Yummy.